This is Nicholas Bell with Ion Cinema, here to review Valley Girl, a remake of the 1983 classic directed by Martha Coolidge, which was Miss Coolidge's directorial debut, and now it is the directorial debut of Rachel Lee Goldenberg. Of course, the original starred Nicolas Cage and Deborah Foreman. This latest one stars Jessica Rothe and Josh Whitehouse, again in a story of star-crossed lovers, because Romeo and Juliet is kind of the basis for this narrative. She's a valley girl in North Hollywood, and he's a punk rocker on the Sunset Strip, and they fall in love despite the juxtaposition of their different worlds. It opens in contemporary climes with Alicia Silverstone telling her daughter, played by Camila Morrone, the story of her first love back in 1983. And then we learn that this Valley Girl is a musical remake of the original, with a plethora of 1980s hits being sung in the fashion not unlike Glee within the film, which to some might feel kind of ruinous, even though it is dripping with the nostalgia factor that I guess is what made this project necessary in the first place, which was originally announced back in 2011, I believe, by MGM. There's some nice highlights. Judy, Greer, and Huebel, who both were in The Descendants, play the parents of Julie, who's portrayed by Jessica Rothe this time around, who of course many might know from the Happy Death Day films. Since her character's not too unlike the person in those films, I kept kind of wishing for somebody to come start offing all of these obnoxious North Hollywood teenagers. But other than that, it'll be whether or not you like this kind of use of 1980s music, whether or not some of them were around in 1983. There's a character obsessed with Janet Jackson that I believe this was before she had an album. So some of those references are kind of all over the place. Besides the notable adult actors, I don't find a lot to recommend about this film, especially compared to the original, which wasn't so aware about being in the 1980s as this film is clearly defined by. And I thought Alicia Silverstone was an interesting element, considering her ties to 1990s cinema and a contemporization of Jane Austen that made her famous back in 1995. Overall, I would give this film 2 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.